let's go to our next speaker, Michele from Peakwork. Please come on stage. There you go.
Hello.
20 minutes.
Hello, everyone. Mine will be the least experimental, probably, presentation today. What Peakwork does is building on Camino's infrastructure, the scaffolding, okay? So we are a traditional travel tech company which does traditional stuff, decentralized in its way, which is now reinventing some of it on blockchain, because it makes a lot of sense, and I will explain why. But I'm cheating, because I will start with another presentation, and I will tell you why a little bit later. I breeze through the presentation because it's really not for 20 minutes, but I'll try to make it. And also I'll explain why half of this is in Chinese. I was in France 2 months ago, eating camembert cheese, etc. Very nice self-made itinerary. And at each of the venues I was at, Airbnb or stuff like that, I was asked the owner-manager about suggestion of food to eat, especially food to eat because I love eating, stuff to do, etc. And they delivered recommendations. I believe this is the essence of hospitality, what hospitality is about. I mean, recommendation, concierge. This is actually the very term hospitality means hosting and then explaining what's around the hotel, what's around your house, etc. What did these people that made recommendation to me earn? A satisfied guest, that's the most important part. I would definitely return if this was a retail experience where you like a t-shirt, you like a brand, you buy more and more stuff for that brand. This not happens in travel. I mean, I have a pretty biased and very expert audience here, so I'm not dwelling into why loyalty doesn't work for travel. Retail style loyalty doesn't work for travel. So didn't they learn my loyalty? No. Didn't learn my gratitude and super nice, good experience? Happy guest? Yes. So this is who I am. I'm a foodie. I travel for culture, for meeting people. I'm not loyal. I'm not a loyal customer. I love France, but I would like to repeat the same experience somewhere else, maybe a similar experience somewhere else next time. What I love is to have the same experience in China, for example. And again, this was made for a Chinese audience, and I'll explain why. And eating jamian, for example, from a guy in a hutong because I like food, but stuff like that. So this is where he starts smelling all the presentation. I imagine a travel ecosystem where the concierge experience is enhanced to function across trips, across venues, across destinations, so that I can get my jamian in Beijing, and everybody who's suggesting and inviting me and being a concierge of that experience benefit from it. But even the ones who helped create my profile then the previous time would benefit by saying or by proving that I am a foodie. Actually, I did buy cheese, I did buy that thing, I was at that B&B. Why I was cheating? Because this presentation I made for an ITB China conference, I believe in 2018, before, I mean, eras ago now, right? Before COVID, before everything. When I was able to travel to China, by the way. Now it's already possible, very different price point for flights. What I want, and actually, by the way, I was pitching there my previous company, so to say that I was trying to do blockchain, and this was as a solution born to be made, to be federating loyalty programs on blockchain, Hyperledger, by the way, back in the day, was made in 2017 when I was actually looking at going at those travel tech conferences with Maxime and Marina, etc., back in another continent, etc. Fast forward 5 years. By the way, that startups failed spectacularly, didn't make any money, but as many of us who were there in those days, 2017, know it was a lot of super fun. I'm looking at you, Cynthia, because I remember in the pre-conference call you were mentioning you were there, and it was called crypto at the time. Now it's called Web3. But anyway, fast forward 5 years. Now I'm doing this for a job, and I'm doing it for completely different companies, not mine. is a travel tech company founded in 2009. It's a German company, recently bought by Constellation Software International, 50 plus market. We have 350 brands, part of the network, 7.5 billion. This is the obligatory slide. I have to recite all these numbers. But the thing is, we are an enterprise, okay? So we are a traditional travel tech software company geared to few big customers. So we do stuff for airlines, for tour operating, mostly in the distribution stuff. So why am I here talking to you? Because we do believe, and I do personally believe, that what the infrastructure that Peakwork has built since 2009 to connect source and distribution on Java, basically on C Sharp, on legacy technology, if you will, is something that is not enabling that thing that I was dreaming of in 2018. Okay, so it's not easy to enable a distributed loyalty system or a distributed transaction system to the extent that is possible to do with blockchain, with this previous technology. Why so? Because you need contracts. Not necessarily technical contracts. Pablo was talking about APIs earlier. Yes, we are, the one of us who are in travel tech know that there is a plethora of API conflicting with each other, difficult to translate into each other, slow, fail, etc., that we are working with. But it's achievable. It's something that we do normally. I mean, I've been between there and now I've been working with travel APIs these 5 years, and it's possible. But the contract, the technical contract, is not, it requires an integration every time first, and requires agreement between the two entities talking to each other every time. An agreement as in contract signing by people and within a previous normally exchange of money before you even start transacting, etc. And this is solved by blockchain in a way that I'm gonna show now. The title of the talk was how to off-chain and on-chain between the traditional travel pieces and blockchain, and that's what I'm gonna briefly talk about, but then I wanna go to what we're doing with it. So this is Peakwork traditional, let's say, without the blockchain. So we invented this player hub technology back in 2009, 2010. Player is a kind of distributed, decentralized, if you wanna use that term, cache, not blockchain, where a supplier is pushing their inventory into the house, as in the data center and the system of the consumer, so that you don't have to call an API actually to search, a remote API. And the hub is the API. So it enables all this kind of decentralized, if you want, way to talk between big subjects, big entities. But what does not allow, and these are a few slides just to show you that we know what they're talking about, but it's not really important. I'll just keep them all together. What it doesn't allow is to basically get the long tail of distribution or of sourcing into the game. So you're still talking about a tour operator talking to an airline, okay. But if a tour operator wanted to talk to 10,000 travel agencies, or if a hotel wanted to talk to 10,000 travel agencies, would it have to create and sign 10,000 contracts? Not possible. You have too much manpower involved in maintaining those contracts. I'm not talking about technology. I'm talking about people signing and agreeing on terms. Vice versa. If you're a hotel, would you like to sell to your possible guests the, I don't know, bike stores, rent a bike across the corner, or anything like that? So involving the community around your hotel. Can't you do that? Yes, you could technically, but you have to, again, get all these businesses to agree with you on terms, and then on reselling terms, and then on commission. It's really something that existing technology, including Peakworks, cannot enable. It's a kind of business model that would then enable my experience, my dreamy foodie experience where, yes, I go to a camembert shop that doesn't know anything about me, but they can contribute and get rewarded because they tell and they certify that I'm eating camembert, for example, so that the guy in Beijing Hutongs then can offer me a stinky tofu because it's similar to camembert, whatever, just inventing. But I'm talking about this kind of involving the long tail of businesses into being rewarded by my experiences, still maintaining serendipity. Because I do believe being suggested 2 or 3 things per the conversation we had with Maxime just now on the terrace is not what travel is about. You know, you don't want to be offered 3 things among 10,000. You would like to be choosing those things because they resonate with you among an offer, because this is tourism. Tourism is me inventing my trip. It's not really about, when I'm on honeymoon, I don't have the time to organize that stuff and I want a rate trip. But the vast majority of us is really unbundling the travel purchase. You want to buy this and that because you like it. But still, we would like to have loyalty, a new sort of loyalty around all this process of choosing, etc. So as in every member of this community, as this business community that is offering me services, benefits from having offered me services. So what they're going to do about this? We are introducing next to what exists at Peakwork currently, which is this player hub technology to connect big dots. Imagine a hour clock, where these are the small part of the hour clock next to the center, but we're trying to extend that to a larger audience in distribution and a larger audience of businesses. I'm talking B2B here, of sourcing entities. So involving more and more smaller companies that they can try and can enable business models around transacting to each other without necessarily signing a contract to each other, because this is the core of it. And we're doing it on blockchain, we're doing it on Camino, as a set of smart contracts first, and also a few the apps that are actually built on those smart contracts, but they're like thin front ends that you can use, and you can brand with your white label. You can create tenants on it, but the meat of it is still in the smart contract. You can interact directly with it if you so wish. So we're doing 3 things. Voucher, which is a boring name for a very, very important core piece of what we're doing, trading and recognition. Oh, yeah, that's the font. Okay, never mind. So what we mean by voucher is basically the tokenization of a travel asset, a travel bot piece of a trip, as in mostly tour and destination. We're concentrating on ancillaries now. And this platform enables the seamless issuance of those vouchers, representing, again, a Starbucks coffee at the airport, or a fast track lane at the immigration, or a private transfer, or a tour in whatever, in destination. The redemption, as in scan with a QR code. We have a scan reader app, etc. And settlement of ancillaries. Settlement is very important, because what actually is missing, there are a lot of voucher platforms that then you can use to distribute your ancillaries, etc. But the settlement, as in you want to distribute from a hotel up to a tour operator and a travel agency and a final customer, and everybody receives a commission, and everybody receives a very small commission, so it's not warranting the manpower to sign those contracts, is now enabled automatically by blockchain. So everybody receives a little thin commission based on a technical contract that is always automatically executed. And this enables, again, extending the reach upstream, as in small distributors, or even the final customer, and downstream, as in supply, so small businesses in destination. Trading, I'm not gonna, contrary to what Pablo was saying before, about yes, we have a trading platform, we have a secondary market to put on, to enable basically C2C, customer to customer transaction on those assets that you're not gonna use. So you get the Starbucks coffee, proverbial Starbucks coffee, Thursday or whatever, you can put it and resell it that, or you have an activity in destination that is raining, you cannot do, you try to resell it, etc., etc., etc. It's a platform that enables the resale of all these things. We're not focusing explicitly on non-refundable by hotels. We can support that, and I'm super eager to talk to Takion in the afternoon or whenever it's possible. And we're doing that on Camino. And the third leg is recognition. By recognition, I believe and it's actually the end game, I would say. It's actually creating a way that enables, again, what I was talking about before. So enabling a marketplace where businesses are beacons of whatever the customer did at those. Transaction history or location. So the sum of these creates a rich traveler profile that speaks about, okay, I like to travel to, I don't know, to Caribbean countries and spend X amount of money, more or less. And I love, again, Camembert or whatever. And for that reason, I've been profiled and I'm being offered stuff. And I choose. It's not like recommendation. I choose them. And again, all more boring stuff as in interchange among loyalty programs, etc. But we're starting by this idea of a traveler ID and then offering a layer of personalization of service to that traveler ID. This is a bit for the techies among you, what we're talking about in terms of the Peakwork stack and what we're doing. So again, the apps, 3 of them for now. A wallet, we call it portfolio to distinguish from the MetaMask wallet. So it's kind of the app representing your profile. I'm super eager to talk to. I remember in the preview, in the call previously, I remember that some of you are still also working in travel or similar things, and I'd like to talk to you about that because we would like to be supporting not only our wallet, so to say. We have also an offline brick that we hope we're going to get rid of once the teaching is working, because again, for now, search is definitely not a good use case on blockchain, and we'll see. And then the Camino blockchain sitting underneath. Importantly, we believe a lot on Camino. We do not think all use cases are good on Camino, especially B2C. Because definitely there's no mass adoption. There will probably never be mass adoption because this is the chain for travel, pun unintended. What I mean for it is that the idea is, for example, for the traveler profile, the traveler portfolio, however we want to call it, app, to be multi-chain, and those souvenir NFTs, those postcards that you're gonna then retain and brag about and trade to your car. So all that part of souvenir thing is gonna probably be minted on Polygon or on something which is more mainstream, because you want to put it on OpenSea or whatever. But the profile which is then tied to functionality will be still on Camino. This is the how does it play together, or should be playing together with the rest of the Peakwork architecture. Again, I'll skip it. But the important part is that we are able to mint NFTs for bookings, and we can basically help companies that want to integrate their Web3 stuff into a non-Web3 existing travel tech stack, as in a channel manager, as in a PSS for an airline, as in a PMS for hotels. We are able to do that because we have all the connectivity made already. So we're eager again, and I'm here to tell you that we're eager again to partner with existing projects, Web3, more Web3 that come in contact with airlines or hotel chains, and they need to transact with them to basically connect the dots in there. These are the companies that are already on. These are not Web3 customers yet, apart from one. They're gonna be, hopefully. These are the network that we built already on the, let's call it the Web2 part of the company. The important part that whatever we're doing is that it makes sense when I talk normally to customers that are already on Peakwork and I say, okay, let's do a use case for Web3 together, is that I'm going to vet them somehow, because for most of them, Web3 is still a media play. Okay, I'm doing a Web3 project because I want that attention. I want to be on Forbes. I want to be on Vanity Fair. For some, we did we look a couple of years and professional life back, an NFT launch actually for the first hotel night sold in the world, and I was interviewed by Vanity Fair. So to say, I mean, you still get that mainstream attention for those projects, probably last year, probably next year again, we don't know. But it's not really something that then it's future-proofing anything, not even functionality, not technology-wise. But when it's about multi-partner, many partners, instant or automatic settlement, not necessarily instant, and especially revenue by opportunity, Web3, I think, is the solution. By Web3, by revenue by opportunity, I mean, imagine the scenario where I am in an airport, I have an airline, I'm delayed, the airline pushes that information on chain in some sort and form. Starbucks retail shop at the airport sees the signal, drops me an NFT, I go to, so enabling that kind of thing without those entities having a contract, prior contract to each other. And actually and this doesn't require a portal, and this is where I do believe the future lies, because I don't believe creating yet another brand with yet another portal is actually very innovative, nor very conducive to success, let's say, in this environment where Google is basically the front end, or OpenAI will be the front end, or ChatGPT will be the front end. So I don't believe in other front ends. I do believe in I would say, opportunistic business models that happens in real life in where you are, around where you are. Very quickly, this is actually didn't translate well in Keynote, but these are our voucher platform is live. You're able to transact in Camino, but also thanks to a cooperation we're building with Stanhope Financial, which is a bank, as in a European licensed bank, and in Dubai, they're doing B2B stable coins for euros, GBP, and USD. So every voucher can be transacted actually in money, in stablecoin pegged to money. I'm happy to talk about that with ones of you who would be interested. This is the trading platform. It exists, it's live. We're not gonna build a B2C brand with it. We're gonna probably, we're offering it to partners now as a white label thing, or as an API for building their things. And the recognition, which is not there yet, but the idea is to build a loyalty management system, because hotels don't have one, and that's the entry point. But then on that, to build a kind of personalization layer around traveler profiles. And again, I'm super happy to talk about whoever is building a traveler passport of sorts. Last slide, and then I'm 1 minute over already, so I'll keep it short. What we're doing, so everything I showed you for the trading and voucher platform is my contracts, which are live, and we're working on it. Here's a team. If you want to talk with them, they're available. Recognition is still in working. We are building an MVP for that. These are projects that we're actually working on. Some disclosable, some not. The one with MTS is something that we're working on, and it went on the press already, so I can mention the name. We're building as a phase one this idea again of extending upstream on the long tail of travel agencies, the reach of ancillaries, in this case offered by the DMC, after by MTS, and by hotels, hopefully. And then as a second phase, the idea would be to extend that to the long tail on the sourcing. So to have these hotels getting, again, the bike from the bike store or the activity, et cetera, and to create that kind of economy where, for the first time, the travel agent can actually sell with a package the activity in destinations, thus personalizing a lot the offer. Is actually, for the ones of you who work with travel agency or with tour operators, is actually a very problematic thing in the industry that will help travel agents to differentiate their product in front of the final customer. We are working for a undisclosable, sadly, yet, Italian tour operator, and there are not many in Italy, so you can imagine which one is it, around an app where travelers would have their wallet, their Web3 wallet inside their app. They would load it before the trip with money. And this money would then be spent in destination, in local businesses, thus allowing these guys not to exchange their money for local currency. That's one part of it, consumer facing. And the part business facing is then the payouts to all these local businesses in very complicated unbanked destinations, as in Cuba, as in other places of the world where not necessarily local businesses have bank accounts, or they want to be paid not in the local currency for obvious reasons, would be then having payouts in Web3 wallets, and they can basically change that money into fiat money if they want to. So it's, again, long tail, on the distribution, long tail on the sourcing. And last, and then I finish, it's a loyalty affiliation where we're working with an Italian tech company called HotelNet. They build a CRS, IBE, channel manager, that kind of small company targeting independent hotels. We're working with them and one mid-sized hotel chain in Italy to create that kind of loyalty affiliation. More or less what I was talking about initially. So the idea is to have their 15, I believe, properties plus all the other independent hotels to share their loyalty currency and transact those traveler profiles. Again, so Peakwork is doing this as an idea, again, to build a scaffolding to attach existing pieces of the travel tech to this new blockchain and building B2B projects for customers. Happy to talk to all of you about, that's not important. This is me, and I'm available today and whenever you want. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michele.